West again? No,
Florida.
it's in Florida. There are two. No, now there's just one site, right?
Now.
Hart radio station. Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin is on the air. Talking Golf is brought to you by American Family Insurance, TPC Wisconsin, Oak Park Place, Wild Rock Golf Club, Zimbrick Mercedes-Benz of Madison, also University Ridge Golf Course, Ridge Top Exteriors, Cleary Building Corp., and Nevada Bobs. Now from the new home of TPC Wisconsin in Madison, here are the hosts of Talking Golf. Member of the Wisconsin.Golf Hall of Fame, the legendary Dennis Tiziani, longtime Madison sportscaster Paul Braun, and Wisconsin sports veteran and statewide radio host Mike Heller.
Mike up. From TPC in Madison, hello, along with Mike Heller, along with Dennis Tiziani, Bobbi Stricker, Dave McCann. I'm Paul Braun. We got a full house here tonight and a nice program with a lot of good news, including with Bobbi Stricker, who's with us live.
Yeah.
And we're going to start with that. Bobbi, I looked it up. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You beat 196 other players over the weekend. And talk about that weekend out in California.
Yeah, it was very stressful. Ton of fun. Got there on, I guess, a week from yesterday. I got there last Sunday. Yeah, you play 3 practice rounds because we're playing 3 courses. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is 18 holes, playing 3 different courses. Started Thursday. Started on one of the courses that there's one in particular that bothers me of the 3 that we play. And I ended up scoring the best on that one, so that's just kind of funny. I guess, you think about it the whole week and then get there and ended up shooting 2 under there, but played really nice. Had a ton of fun with my dad, and just happy to get through. It's a very big sigh of relief.
Can you explain at this point what happened and what happens now in the future as a result of your efforts from the weekend?
Yeah, so I made it to stage 2 of LPGA Epson Tour qualifying school. And it's a very complicated system to explain to people, but it's all good. It's a great thing. I had to make a cut to make it to the last day, the 4th day. And historically that day gets you some sort of Epson Tour status. Like in the past, it has gotten you like the bare minimum. Like if you finish last, well, I take that back. If you just make it to if you make it to the 4th day historically, you get to be a member of the Epson Tour. They took that away this year. So making it to Sunday meant nothing, where in the past it was kind of like, it is a goal. You have to make the last day to get to stage 2. But in the past, it was always like, oh, yay, I get to like be an Epson Tour member. I get to play, hopefully. This year, that wasn't a thing. So making it to stage 2 gets me like the bare minimum Epson Tour category, which that means nothing to people that don't know what that means. But it just means that like I can call myself an Epson Tour member. And if I get any starts whatsoever, if that's sponsor exemptions, qualifying by the category, depending on this, how I perform at stage 2, which is in October, I get to be a part of the money list. So if I make a cut, I get to be on that money list. If I wasn't an Epson Tour member, I couldn't be on the money list. So it's just, it's a step in the right direction, obviously, to get back to the Epson Tour, which I wanted to so badly because I played there last summer. And, but still, like the LPGA Tour status is still, like I can still gain that too, just depending on how I perform in these next 2 stages.
So let's go back to last week because what was your attitude after the first round? Because the first round was, I think, of the 4 rounds, that was your poorest scoring round. What was the attitude after round 1, and how did that then change over the next 3 days?
Yeah, it was kind of a wake-up call a little bit because I felt really good leading up to and then the whole round that first day. And then I bogeyed my last 2 holes to shoot 2 over. And it was very much it was irritating because I had to sleep on that. But yeah, it was a wake-up call because I was kind of coasting through that round. And then to end that way, it was kind of a little bit of kick in the butt of like, okay, you need to kind of, reevaluate the attitude and be a little bit more, not aggressive, I don't want to say, but just like pedal to the metal, not lollygag. And I felt like that first day, literally the whole day until I was done, I was like, what? That was kind of weird. Like I felt so good. And then I bogeyed the last 2. Ended up playing in the afternoon that first day though. So that means that I got to play in the morning the next day.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, really huge because I got to go to bed. You get done, you eat dinner, you go to bed practically the first day. And then I got to wake up super early and just like kind of get those 2 shots back. And I actually birdied 2 of my first 3 holes. So I really did, like once I woke up, I got the 2 shots back.
Yeah.
So yeah, my mentality and my confidence was, I don't know, and just the game of golf in general, it ebbs and flows, and even in a round and especially throughout a tournament. So I feel like I handled myself super well. I was so stressed.
I'm really curious about Sunday. So you get to the final round because there was a cut after Saturday. Mm-hmm. So you get to the final round on Sunday, and you're not competing against the other players necessarily. You are trying to shoot a score.
Yeah.
At what point did you begin recognizing where you were in your placement and then starting to play differently? Maybe is the
this week though you want to perform well and be on top of a leaderboard at any tournament, it's just really where you place on the leaderboard means nothing,
right?
Because I mean, if you win and if you are the last girl in, it's the same thing. We're not getting paid for this. It's literally just to move on. So yeah, there is a little bit of a different mentality of like, you don't want to, you play aggressively because you don't want to play scared, but you also don't need to necessarily do things that you would in a tournament that you're trying to win or, place high on the leaderboard. So I knew where I needed to be before I started Sunday. I knew what the number was going to be to get me on. So it really was like starting out, played nicely, gave myself a ton of birdie opportunities, and that last day could have been really low. I was hitting it really nicely. But yeah, when you make the turn and you only have 9 holes left and you kind of see the end, I definitely started to think about it. And, and Dinah Shore at Mission Hills is the course that we play. And there's some holes coming down the stretch that are just tough. They're long par 3s or tight tee balls. The last hole is a par 5 where you literally have to place it. There's water on the left. You place your drive in between the water and these bunkers. And then you lay up at a really tight area. And then you're pitching, depending on where you're laying up, over water. Mm-hmm. So it's like you literally can't. There's no break until the final putt drops. So, it stressful, but like I said, I'm so glad that it's over.
Bobbi, you mentioned you had a great time with your dad, and what you're willing to share about the weekend. How did he help you? Maybe some highlights of the whole experience.
Yeah. Obviously, a huge help because of who he is and the golfer that he is. But we've talked about it a little bit, and Rob Hernandez, you guys know Rob Hernandez from Wisconsin.
I was going to ask you about the bunker shot anyway.
Yeah, he was out there, and which is so cool that he comes out there and supports us. We had a lot of Wisconsin girls playing in the tournament, so I talked about it with him too. I would say it was very cool for me this year to kind of realize, like, maybe in the past when my dad has caddied for me, it's a lot of he helped in a different way. It was almost like, here's how to play the shot. And this year it was really cool because I felt like I was a part of the discussion of here's what I'm going to do. Obviously course management is huge for him, and I'm still learning that, and it was a huge help all weekend. But it's cool for me because I saw the growth in myself of having him be out there and just realizing, I had a realization of how much I've grown and just the golfer that I've become over the summer, being able to, I had no caddy all summer, so I'm the only one that's making these calls for myself, and I'm committed to the call that I made. It was cool to like tell him what I was thinking, and him being like, he was just validating what I was doing, and for me that's a huge confidence boost because it feels like I'm thinking the right things, and but he keeps it really light. We had a ton of fun.
In that regard, you had a little downhill, short-sided bunker shot with water on the other side of the green, and I think Rob and Gary D'Amato in the piece at Wisconsin.Golf focused on this, and I think your dad was going to start to talk about something, and you said, "I've got this."
Yeah.
And so walk us through that bunker shot, because on the other side is a problem.
Oh, huge problem, and I literally have done the problem before. Like, it was either my first or second year. This par 3 is water on the right, bunkers on the left, and you're elevated, so it's just like your ball is in the air for a really long time, and I pull it into the bunker or pull it left often. But one of the first years I went out there, I hit it in that bunker, and I did that. I hit it in the water on the other side. Yeah. So, of course, I do this on Sunday, so just yesterday. And I know this, like... Yes, I knew the shot. I was in a downhill lie and had green to work with. But, yes, the water on the other side, it's just daunting because if you
know you can't. I mean, you make a double here. Now you're in trouble on the number.
Yes.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. It was late in the round, too, so not where you need a double. And he's standing over by the bunker. I'm assessing my whole situation. And he's standing over by the bunker, and he's got the rake in his hand, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, I know he's going to say, I know exactly what I have to do. And I'm stressed about it already. We do not need to rehash. I'm like, I go, I got it. And he was like, all right, let's see it. And I hit a really nice shot. I had a putt for par, like a legit putt for par, and ended up missing it and was mad at myself. I got in the cart and I was mad at myself, and he was like, "That was a really good bogey. Like, you just need to take your 4 and leave." Right. And I'm like, okay, you're right. It was a hard shot, but that was funny.
Yeah.
Dennis, what do you think about this? What are you hearing? And there's got to be a lot of pride on your part there, right?
I know how she's progressed as a person and then a player. So that was nice to see that she did it, no problem at all. But, like, the athletic chromosome is an X,
Here we go.
Here we go.
Always.
Yeah. So he had nothing to do with it. He goes nuts when I say that, but really good. To see her progress, and it's, from my perspective, it's pretty good. You see all those people out here, especially on a tour, they're 25 years old and they quit because they've had enough, because they've been there since they've been 12 with parents beating on them. Well, she goes ahead. She doesn't get out there till she's 22 playing tennis and stuff, so she's got all this time to mature and, validate what she's doing. Different than some of those people that I see, foreign players. It's all it is on that deal. Nelly Korda and then 15 from the foreign people, But you'll notice they don't stay around very long. They retire early. And, here's somebody who's going ahead, and it's a lifestyle for her. Her family is in it, and now can move ahead, hopefully get to the big tour, because she'll do good there. She does everything good enough to be there. The mental aspect will be an issue, always. But she's getting past that.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we talk about it all summer, right? I mean, every time we visited here, we were talking about August. That's a hard thing to do for the player side when your singular focus is 4 days in August. But awfully good to have composed after the first round and to play better on Friday and to play better than on Saturday than you did on Friday. Like, those are really good days.
Yeah, really good days. Like I said, I proved a lot to myself, which is cool. I battle confidence in this game often. So it was cool to know I was so nervous and so uncomfortable over some certain shots, but then to execute them is a huge deal. And to be able to regroup and put a good and confident swing on it, even though you're feeling all those things.
You had a lot of people back here watching. I mean, we couldn't see anything and weren't getting updates until your rounds were done, but you had a lot of people, and I know that you have great faith. And a lot of us were looking on, and I know, Paul, we all were. When we'd see each other here, and I saw your mom out on the golf course Saturday night, later afternoon, and I yelled across the fairway, "You have an update?" Because we weren't getting them. And so, you had a lot of support back here.
That means a lot to me.
But a big item is Dad being there.
Oh, yeah.
Huge item. I mean, you can't say enough about that you have somebody there. And the big part about it is he letting her do her own thing. Mm-hmm. Only because she was trained to do those things. Yeah. And what he's done and what she's doing is validating his training.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Bobbi, now, of course, the next goal is October, right?
Yeah.
And what's the approach you're going to use? Basically the same? Just continue to practice and that kind of thing?
Yeah, good question. I haven't really thought about it or decided what I'm going to do. It's in Florida in October in like Venice, which is just I think south of Sarasota, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know. There's nothing to like competitive wise to play in before that. So my plan is right now I be home for a little bit, do some other things these couple weeks. Badger football starting. I'm so pumped. My birthday is this weekend, so just got some cool life things coming up.
Good.
Just to kind of maybe take a break out mentally a little bit.
Right.
But, and then kind of get back to it. I did a lot of really good things here, but I am excited because my dad got to see, too, what maybe some things I need to work on because I'm really motivated to – I don't know. Like, the Epson Tour is really cool, and I obviously want to be there, but I can't forget that literally the LPGA Tour is still in the equation, and I've never really thought that way before. So to know that that's still kind of up for grabs and, get some good work in here before the weather kind of turns to yuck, but then have the opportunity to go down to Florida where my parents are at, and I probably will do that earlier than the tournament is.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. Well, we're all proud of you. And
you betcha.
And what is your line? Her history is in her future.
Amen.
That's right.
You want to sing happy birthday to her? Or
No.
No.
Have you already got the shopping done? You've already got something
Oh,
done?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. What are you getting me?
A
rusty golf ball.
Yeah, perfect. What
Small
a great
ball.
gift. Yeah,
That's for all these guys who don't understand
well,
about this stuff.
We'll get there. Anyway, congratulations,
Thank
and
you.
We're so happy for you.
Thank
and
you.
There's more coming.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Way to
Appreciate
go,
you guys.
Bobbi.
Thank
We're
you.
gonna visit with Gary D'Amato and his partner in crime out there, Rob Hernandez, was covering. So we'll talk with Gary D'Amato on the other side as we continue talking golf at TPC Wisconsin.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bob. Joel and his crew can equip you, dress you, teach you, and here's the best part. New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Nope. Case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
TPC Wisconsin offers fantastic facilities for the whole family. They not only provide members with 18 holes of an elite golfing caliber challenge, but an Olympic-sized swimming pool, spacious accommodations for family gatherings, weddings, corporate business meetings, and a variety of programs for the junior golfers. Question is, are you up for the TPC Wisconsin fantastic facilities? Now's the time to tee up a TPC membership. Call 608-249-1000.
Crepes. Do you spend more time searching for your ball than actually playing? Well, listen up. Cleary has the perfect solution for you. The Cleary Golf Getaway is the perfect addition to any commercial or storage building. Picture this, your custom getaway complete with a fresh-cut putting green and a clubhouse so cozy you'll make it your second home. Hi, I'm Sean Cleary. We all need a little getaway, so why not go for the green with a new Cleary building?
Now is the time to take the short drive to Wild Rock Golf Club and experience championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Located in the Wisconsin Dells, this Herdston Fry masterpiece offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes with greens that roll fast and true. Cut from the natural beauty of the Dells, Wild Rock is sure to dazzle your senses. Secluded and sheltered from the outside world, Wild Rock is unlike any place you played before. Come be part of the Wild Rock experience by booking your tee time online today at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
Are you in need of expert exterior renovations? Look no further than Ridgetop Exteriors. For over 22 years, we've been the trusted name in roofing, siding, windows, doors, and gutter replacements. With a track record of excellence on our Google reviews, we take pride in transforming houses into dream homes. Visit us today at ridgetopexteriors.com for a free consultation. That's ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, your trusted local affordable partners.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bob. Joel and his crew can equip you, dress you, teach you, and here's the best part. New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Mike's up.
All right, we continue on this Monday night. Really great visit with Bobbi Stricker, and that'll lead us right into our conversation with Gary D'Amato of Wisconsin.Golf. And his partner, Rob Hernandez, was out covering the Q School event out west that Bobbi Stricker advanced through. So, Gary, we'll start there. It was a great piece at Wisconsin.Golf that I read through this morning that you and Rob put together. And there was a pretty good Wisconsin contingent out there, and Bobbi and another UW golfer were the two that made it through.
Yeah, that was all Rob. I had no part in that. He did a great job with that story. I woke up early just to read it, just to see how how Bobbi and Chloe would fare. So really happy that they both made it through to the next. I guess it's the pre-qualifying stage next. But this, I think, guarantees them some, if I'm not mistaken, some status on Epson Tour, no matter what they do from here on going forward. So
yeah, Bobbi explained it as
really
though
happy to
now
see
they're
that.
Bobbi explained it. They're now she's a member of the Epson Tour, and then how you do it the next stage gets you exempt status as far as those tournaments, and then there is still the LPGA opportunity that hangs out there at the end of this. So let me dig a little bit into the Wisconsin.Golf storyline, because Rob spends a lot of time coming back here. He lives in Arizona, but he spends a lot of time coming back here spring, summer. But one of the cool advantages is that there's so many tournaments out west, whether it's in the collegiate season or like this, that Rob is very valuable to what you all do.
Oh, there's no question. Living in Phoenix, he does a lot of stuff by phone when it's tournaments back here that he covers. But you're right. He has the advantage of, being able to canvass the whole, Valley of the Sun out there in Phoenix. And then he can get to all the, spots in California that have qualifying events for the tours and various collegiate events. So he's within a couple hour drive of a lot of tournaments that we need to cover and a lot of people that we need to see play. So it's good having Rob out there, and it's good having him, come back 3 or 4 times throughout the year to cover. He'll be back here in a few weeks to cover the girls' high school state championship. So, it's great that he's out there and that he can get back here and do some things.
We're chatting with Gary D'Amato, and Gary, an idea started a long time ago. John Hughes involved in it, you guys, and then the growth of Wisconsin.Golf with the new association there when John decided apparently he was going to get out of the business, so to speak. That growth has been just absolutely phenomenal, has it not, in terms of the coverage of golf in Wisconsin and around the country? What you guys have been able to do is pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah, it's great that Rob Jansen and the WSG board, with help from the Wisconsin PGA section, they pitched in quite a bit to it. They rescued us because when John Hughes sort of pulled the plug on us in December, we were fearing that we were going to disband and that golf coverage in our state would really suffer. not that we're patting ourselves on the back, but I mean, there's really nobody that covers golf anywhere close to what we do. So we were so happy that Rob Jansen stepped forward and, took us over. And, our stuff now goes out in email blast to all the WSG members. So we're continuing to grow our reach and our, people who go to our website. So it's been a good marriage for sure.
Let's talk about that coverage and reach. Let's have you give us a little synopsis of what Minocqua Country Club and the Wisconsin State Open that wrapped up last week. How'd that all go?
Yeah, it was great. It was great having Rob there, and Jim Kelch, our photographer, does a great job, photos, and Rob does a great job with video. And all three of us up there, beautiful golf course. I'd never seen it. Really impressed with the way that the members embraced the event. They were all on board with it, shuttling players and schlubs like us down from the parking lot up to the clubhouse. And, everything was very first class about the whole way the tournament was run. And then to see Max Lyons, birdie 5 of the last 7 holes and come from behind and win the tournament, it was pretty special.
Gary, as you look ahead, maybe even to more potential growth of Wisconsin.Golf and coverage of golf in general, anything on the horizon that you guys can think of that you might get involved with that's not being done now?
Well, we would love to do more course stuff, because anytime we write about golf courses, it gets a really good reaction. But, in the summer it's so hard because we're so tournament-focused that we can't get to a lot of those other types of stories, but that's why we have a down season. From November through March, we get to do a lot of that stuff. Projects. We'd like to do some enterprise reporting. Maybe it would be great if we could grow our staff, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But it would be wonderful if we could someday be in a position to add somebody else. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. How the money situation goes with WSJ. Getting sponsorships and advertising for our website, and hopefully we continue to grow, because there's a lot of stuff we could cover that we just can't get to because it's basically a two-man operation plus Jim Kelch. On
the pro tour this weekend, we saw in Colorado Keegan Bradley, who happens to be the captain of the Ryder Cup, had a pretty good weekend. He was the last guy in. He was the 50th qualifier. He wins with the barrage late, and it brought up the conversation of, he can, but he won't be a playing captain. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say. I don't think you can do. I mean, they did it way in years gone by. You know, there were Arnold Palmer was a playing captain. There were a bunch of guys who were. Sam Snead, I believe, was a bunch of guys who were back in the day. But I just think the responsibility and the pressure to do all the things that a captain needs to do, all the obligations. I think it's just too much. It takes your focus away from playing. But so I don't think we're ever going to see a playing captain again.
Gary, have you ever written a story about anybody having an 85-yard putt?
I saw that video. That was incredible, wasn't it? It broke about 15 times, too. Yeah, that was a crazy, crazy putt.
It happened an amateur at the over at St. Andrews. 80. It's obviously a double green, but 85-yard putt. Would you have putted it, Dennis, or would you have chipped it? Or what would you have done?
Doing 85 yards away from the hole?
It was windy.
Well, yeah.
No.
Seriously, would you have putted it, or would you have chipped it, or what? I mean, looking at it, what would you have done?
Well, I don't know. I've not seen what they're doing, but, your worst putt will be your best chip, is the statement.
Yeah.
So we have to take a look at that, keep it on the ground. She putted it. I probably would have used maybe a 3-iron. Choked down, turned it down, and made it the loft of a putter.
Sure.
So I had the weight and the length to make that happen. I mean, years ago when we had long putts on even some of the greens that they have now, we didn't putt it only because it was too slow.
Yeah.
So we used that 3-iron, 2-iron at that time and turned it down and made it happen.
Yeah, statistically, Gary probably would have gone down as a 3-putt. I mean, she
did.
She did have a 3-putt.
That's crazy.
However that works. What do you have coming up in coverage rolling forward? What's happening this week, Gary?
Yeah, this week, right now, I am at the State Senior Amateur at Meadowbrook Country Club. It's a hot one. Wow.
Yeah.
These guys are my age, and they're playing, in the heat, but most of them obviously are riding. But, yeah, this is a 2-day tournament. I'll be here tomorrow again. And right now there's a 3-way tie for the lead with 3 guys you would expect to be near the top. Bob Gregorski, Kevin Cahill, and Jim Dewing are all 2 under. So I'll be back here for the final round tomorrow, and then later on in the week we'll have a story on the revitalization of Monroe Golf Club, which nearly shuttered its doors a couple of years ago, and some businessmen stepped in and rescued it, and some great things are happening down there in Monroe.
Very cool. We'll look forward to reading that. Gary, always appreciate it. Thanks for your time here.
Thanks so much, guys.
Gary D'Amato, Wisconsin.Golf. Monroe Country Club. Been doing that work for a long time.
It's all going to be issues like that because the cost to keep these things going.
Yeah.
I mean, they pay the same thing as we pay for fertilizer, for machines, and people want to play for nothing. The cost is going to go up. And that really bothers me. Is that going to go ahead and deter people from golfing because of the cost?
Sure.
Okay, so you can go and hit balls and have some, maybe like it is over in Korea, Japan. They don't play golf. They hit balls.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Right.
So that'll be a rescue, This business, that he's got John, the fella who started the...
John Hughes.
Yeah.
John Hughes. That whole operation started in my office. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, John and I sat and did this business of how this would work. And it was going to be PGA orientated.
Yeah.
Until it became a success.
Yeah.
And then, which doesn't exist much now as it did then, that competition, the red coats and the blue coats and WSGA, PGA.
Yeah.
Well, that existed a lot within our group here. It doesn't exist as much, but as soon as that became successful, all of a sudden WSGA got involved, PGA stepped on the side. Again, not doing it.
Right.
I often thought that, and this is way off the wall, how would they become a part of what we're doing?
With the foundation?
Foundation would be huge because you heard them.
Yeah.
And those guys aren't getting any younger.
Yeah.
How does this keep going?
Yeah.
And money's going to be the object. And if and through the foundation that you had a radio show, you had this media that's going out there, and you had a particular staff that takes care of it,
right?
Then people could see, because people donate to the foundation.
Yeah, of course.
And they donate to the foundation because they can see a result.
Yeah.
And here you can see a result.
Yeah.
The information we give, the information that would happen. So, I didn't want to tell them there, but they're not.
Well, you got his number.
I got his number. Don't worry about that. But, those guys here are not getting any younger.
Sure, yeah.
And I just think it's such an integral part of information for golf.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen at the State Journal or anyplace else. They don't even talk about it.
No.
And
not anymore.
All these young individual players. Did you know we had a player here? You didn't put it out there. It will pretty soon. Lincoln Hotman, remember that name? Okay, we teach. He's part of our deal here. Now, he shot 59 here the day before. 59.
59.
17 years old.
He shot 59.
Yeah, and from the threes. And I told him, I said, he texts me, what he does all the time. You played 16 holes. No. Don't kid me, you played 16. But he played with his parents and his brother and shot 59 right out here. 59 here. I don't care if I put you on the edge of the green. You ain't going to shoot 59.
No, actually, I'd probably be about 59 or 60 around 13 or 14. We'll be back after this timeout. This is TPC in Madison.
Derek Jeter for American Family Insurance.
Kathy is standing by. Kathy is standing by.
American Family Insurance roof, because they'll help protect your family's dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina, you can count on an American Family Insurance agent to help you dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
University Ridge has been the proud host of the American Family Insurance Championship since 2016. We've enjoyed working with the American Family team to create 9 years of magical moments at University Ridge. Open to the public and consistently considered one of the best values in the country, University Ridge is the place for golf in southern Wisconsin. Book your tee time up to 90 days out online at universityridge.com. Play where the Badgers and the pros play. University Ridge.
When you or a loved one could use a helping hand, turn to the caring team of experts in senior living at Oak Park Place. This is Paul Braun, and when I needed someone to help me navigate senior living for my wife, I called Oak Park Place. They were with me every step of the way, from the first call through move-in day. Choose a community that promotes independence when you want it, assistance when you need it. Oak Park Place Senior Living. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
TPC Wisconsin offers fantastic facilities for the whole family. They not only provide members with 18 holes of an elite golfing caliber challenge, but an Olympic-sized swimming pool, spacious accommodations for family gatherings, weddings, corporate business meetings, and a variety of programs for the junior golfers. Question is, are you up for the TPC Wisconsin fantastic facilities? Now's the time to tee up a TPC membership. Call 608-249-1000.
Hi, I'm Sean Cleary. When you construct a Cleary building, you become part of the amazing Cleary team we are so proud of. One thing to be aware of is when it's golf season, our team has a tendency to switch to golf lingo on the job site.
Jim, you better take a mulligan on that.
Rest assured you are still getting the best quality, the best. Hey, is that crane getting close to? 4! Go for the green with a new Cleary building, like the one at TPC, Wisconsin.
Mike's up.
So we welcome in Kathy Hartwood as she's joined us now. This is the second time. I'd like for her to be on as much as she wants to be on. I enjoy the conversation, and then I enjoy
with approval.
Well, I know I was getting there, and then I enjoy when you poke the bear, as it were, with some of your comments, Mr. Tiziani.
But she can handle it.
Oh, I know she
can handle it.
Yeah, I want to be in the room when the next time that, at the bar, the next time Dennis goes in, so we can let it go. Not on radio where we have FCC issues.
Uh-uh.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. I don't think you would have wanted to be in the bar at our last conversation. Is that right, Mr. T?
Is that right, Dennis?
Yeah, she's funny.
Okay. Kathy, thanks for jumping in here. The podcast is called Think Above Par. So Saturday, really early, I drove out of here on my way up to Lambeau Field in Green Bay to cover the Packers exhibition game. And there's no sports talk at 5:30 in the morning that I want to listen to. So your podcast kept me company for about the first 2 hours of my drive. So I wanted to say thank you. I love the way you think about the game and the mental side of it and staying positive and finding those ways to get through, because your brain can really be a detriment to the game sometimes.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, thank you for listening. Yeah, my podcast is, both of my episodes are about 12 minutes long, and they're pretty consumable. It's just me speaking, so you probably got through, half of my episodes in 2 hours.
Pretty good catalog. So we were talking to Bobbi Stricker off the top of the show today, and she made it through the pre-qualification out west. And one of the things that we talk about a lot, and maybe we mentioned it when we visited with you 2 weeks ago, is that old line that coaches use, that Dennis uses a lot, that you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Well, maybe you have a different spin on how that works. How do you handle that conversation?
Well, I agree with that. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable because your growth happens in discomfort. So unless you don't want to grow, you're not going to be uncomfortable. You won't go through discomfort. So for you to grow and change and morph as a player, as a human, in business, wherever, you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. If you're not, then you're going to stay stagnant and still. Tour school, is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
That's a whole different level of discomfort. I've gone through tour school several times, so I empathized with the girls going through it. I understood what they were going through and what happens in your brain during tour school. And that's a different level of discomfort.
Yeah.
That is, you're fighting constantly, mental little demons. Basically, they're going to pop up because, it's such a big deal. You get to do it one time. I had one of my clients, I helped Bobbi with some of her ways she was manager mine going into tour school, and then I had 2 other clients that were in it. One didn't make the cut, the other one made the cut. But we made the conversation because the Olympics were just finishing up. Olympic athletes have 1 out of every 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't imagine what they go through, because we're going through this. We only get 1 shot once a year to go through this first stage of qualifying. So there's so many different elements in a Q school, or something that you only get to do once. So for the average golfer who's not going to tour school, that could be your club championship. That could be you qualifying for a USGA event or a state event. You get it once a year, and that's a different level of discomfort in your brain. That's that's listening to your brain kind of catastrophizing the one and done, and if I don't do it now, it's never going to happen, and you got to fight those too. So it's not that you have to be comfortable with that. You have to anticipate it in those kind of situations, and then you have to have a plan.
Kathy, pardon me. Kathy, I was watching one of the videos that you were involved with, and boy, could I relate to what you were talking about. At one point when you were playing, you were putting so bad, you wanted to quit the game. You said it wasn't any fun anymore, and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I played the other day. I played 13 holes, and I lost 6 golf balls. And I walked off the course thinking, I don't want to play anymore. This just isn't any fun. How did you change your thinking at that point, and what did you do?
Well, I did. So I tell the story that I can hit 15 greens and shoot 75 with the best of them, and that was kind of the way I played my professional golf. And so I just put so much pressure on my full swing to hit it closer. I just prayed for a tap in. That's like how much pressure I put on it, and I had so little confidence and certainty in my putting, and I worked really, really hard at my putting. And basically what happened was I hated the way I felt, and that's why we want to quit. And everything we do and don't do is based on how we get to feel. So golf made me feel horrible about myself. I shamed myself, which sounds like I suck. I'm not good enough. It's all the things that we say that basically mean I'm not good enough or I'm not enough. And so we shame ourselves. And that's a horrible emotion for anybody to sit in. And golfers, we have a tendency to do this. We can do this in the middle of a round of golf, but we can do it after the end result. What ultimately happened to me is then I created a fear, and this happens to a lot of golfers that I coach, that I created a fear of that disappointment and that shame. So I knew, waiting for me at the end of the round was a spanking, so to speak. Like a picture, like when I was a little kid, my dad was a spanker. So, if I knew that my mom was like, you're going to get a spanking when he gets home, it's like that worry and that fear at the end of the whole day of what the end result's going to be. We do this with our golf. So if you think you're going to give yourself a verbal beatdown, or if you're going to feel horrible at the end of 18 or shame yourself, then you worry the whole round. You work really, really hard on trying to prevent that from happening, and it becomes very, very, very hard to perform. And so the shift for me was, and what it is for all my clients, what I work on, is that I had to shift my identity about I was not a number. I'm not a number. I'm not a score. I'm not a good shot. I'm not a bad shot. I'm not a 3-putt. All those things are neutral, and I get to have confidence in myself. I get to shift and change the relationship I have with myself and separate myself from my golf game. So the more that I attached that number to how I felt, then the worse I was going to perform. And it's so easy to get into that rhythm in golf where we're a number or not a number. There's a famous golf family, the Harmon family, Claude Harmon, and then his kids, Craig, Dick, Billy, and Butch, who's a famous instructor. But anyway, I spent a lot of time with Craig Harmon. I took lessons from him in Rochester, New York. And Billy Harmon, who caddied a lot for Jay Haas at the time, and he would see me after playing a tournament, and I was just so mopey and upset. And he'd just walk by me and say, good shot, good person, bad shot, bad person. And he'd just keep walking. And I sit there and go, what the heck is he talking about? Like, I knew that was, like, profound.
Sure.
But I couldn't get it. And then you go, good round, good person, bad round, bad person. And I'm like, he's so right. I believe him. But why is he telling me that, you know? And it took me a long time to figure out that he was trying to subtly teach me the lesson that I was attaching my score to, you know, to myself and how I got to talk about myself. So that's where I started shifting things. Now, how I shifted my putting is a totally different story.
Yeah, right.
But I realized that I was attaching my identity to my scores, and that's why golf was no fun.
All right, I have one more for you, and it was one of the podcasts that I listened to Saturday morning, and we talk about expectations and frustration. So if I hit 55% of fairways when I put a wood club in my hand, whether it's a 3-wood or a driver. So if I hit, 5 or 6 out of 10 fairways on average, the Mike that goes to the golf course thinks on every tee shot, I want that half of the game to show up on that tee shot. I want to hit, and I expect to hit the fairway all the time, even though I only hit 55 or 60% of them. How do you talk yourself into the expectation of trying to hit the fairway, but the understanding that depending on your level of game, you're going to miss fairways?
Because you're arguing with reality.
Yes.
So
yes.
Anytime you argue with reality, you're going to lose. So if you have your numbers and like 55%, so there's 14 fairways. If you're playing 4 par 3s, there's 14 fairways if you're hitting a driver up of those. So let's say on the range you hit 50% of the drivers on the range. So I would encourage all the listeners to get your data so that you're not arguing with reality. So go on the range, and usually we're in a relatively calm place. So our brain isn't rattled. We don't have to worry about water and out of bounds and people and scores and all the things. You're just hitting on the range. You're pretty relaxed as long as you're in that environment. And then see what you can do right now today. It's a snapshot of what you can do today. It doesn't mean you're stuck there. It doesn't mean it's not going to be tomorrow. It's something different. And so let's say you hit 5 out of 10, because that's easy math, and you have 50%. So if you go to the range and you manage your mind really well, meaning you're not swinging from frustrated or pissed or anxious or fear or any other emotion, which is totally going to trap your talent behind that emotion. If you can swing from a place like you were on the range, then your expectation realistically could be for you to hit 7 fairways.
Yes.
So then you stand up there, and when you miss a fairway, you're like, that's who I am. I missed half of the fairways.
Yeah.
So don't get pissed at yourself. And that's most of the time when we get frustrated, your anger or frustration comes from 2 main reasons. One is that you have unmet expectations, and a lot of times this is it. You're expecting yourself to hit a number that you don't have the talent level for. Or the other one is that there was an injustice, like we just get a bad bounce, a bad break, with a lip out, something that just is a little bit, frustrating. In real world, this would be someone cutting you off on the road.
Sure.
Someone stealing something from you. This is what causes frustration. So it happens on the golf course too. So if you're getting frustrated, you want to ask yourself, was that an injustice? Like, was I wronged in some way? Did someone yell in the middle of your backswing? Or are my expectations exceeding reality?
Yeah. Any buttons you want to push, Dennis, before we let Kathy go?
I got all kinds of things, but I'll talk to her and upgrade her a little bit.
Go for it.
Oh, boy.
I'm ready for you.
You people
You'll
are
talk
talking.
to me when?
You people are talking about confidence. Is that a mental thing? Is confidence a mental thing?
Well,
Well, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So what comes first, confidence or good shots?
Well, good shots.
Oh, wait a while. No.
No?
No. Fundamentals comes first.
Well, you gave me multiple choice, and that wasn't one of them.
But fundamentals
that wasn't an option.
I know it. It's an option because, obviously some of my teaching are players that are some of the stuff you're talking about are great for the average dude.
Which is what we're talking about.
That's right. You're talking about the average dude. I'm talking about somebody who can play golf. And what comes first, as I told you, once you teach them the fundamentals, right?
Yeah.
Then they get confidence. Yeah. Then they hit good shots.
Yeah.
So I do it a different way. But then again, I'm realizing that Steve's dealing with people that are,
What? Yeah.
You have to be really smart or really stupid to play this game,
Kathy, that was my mistake. I opened it up for Dennis, and I should have kept his microphone turned off here. So.
This might be my last time I'm on the show.
It might be.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, I could argue with you all day, Tiz.
No, you can argue
confidence, with me. Confidence. There's a difference between confidence and self-confidence, right? And so your confidence in your golf ability is going to ebb and flow. Your self-confidence involves the language that you say to yourself, how you talk to yourself, that you having your own back, your ability to make decisions. So I can be a very self-confident person and not have confidence in my bunker that day, but I might have confidence in my full swing. So your confidence being your ability or your capability is going to ebb and flow. That's why people, even tour players, work on their swing, and they go in and out of ability or capability, but they always can have self-confidence, which means self-confidence is a state of being. It's how you walk into a room. It's how you stand tall and have your own back. And it's you don't need other people to know that you're confident or that you're good.
I hear you with all this
it's
stuff.
For yourself.
Can you hear his eye roll? Because I can see
tell
it.
you what she's doing.
Yeah, that's all right.
She'd be
I'm going to
very good with some of the people.
I'm going to be back in Madison for the Alabama game. Roll Tide, just saying. But
you
I'll
can't
be back
do that
for the
Kathy.
game. And
Kathy,
sorry,
you can't do that here.
They have a lot of my money.
Okay.
I'll give you some of the thoughts.
Before we let her go, we should extend congratulations to her and Nikki, who won the event here.
Well, yeah.
When they were in town. And one final thought.
We changed the event now. It's men only.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
I knew
that's
that was
wrong.
coming.
That's a mistake. But
I thought Nikki was going to die at that one.
Kathy, just one quick question. Now that you've played TPC in Wisconsin, and you talk about managing your mind and that kind of thing, what thought came to you about the average person playing this golf course in terms of how they should think about it now that you've played it?
Well, I played it several times, but when I played in that event we were paired with 5 different groups, twosomes, they're all men, and I got to witness a lot of golf, and the way that people manage their mind around the golf course and manage their games around the golf course is they're hitting shots that they don't own. And they're trying to hit shots that they don't own, I should say. And when you do that out at TPC, you're gonna lose. I mean, you're going to, especially in that format, you're going to create numbers that aren't to your advantage. So in other words, talk about hitting drivers, right? TPC is demanding off the tee, and if you can't hit your ball straight, you're out of play. And if you're out of play, you're out of the hole, right? So they weren't playing course management very well. So that was the biggest challenge. But they didn't like to get beat by girls. So that was fun, and we could get ahead of that. But
Hey, the podcast is called Think About Par. It's always good to visit with Kathy Hart. Thank you for the time. We'll hopefully do it again if Dennis allows it.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Y'all have a beautiful night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll come back in a moment. This is Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bob. Joel and his crew can equip you, dress you, teach you, and here's the best part. New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Now is the time to take the short drive to Wild Rock Golf Club and experience championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Located in the Wisconsin Dells, this Herdston Fry masterpiece offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes with greens that roll fast and true. Cut from the natural beauty of the Dells, Wild Rock is sure to dazzle your senses. Secluded and sheltered from the outside world,
roll this final
Wild Rock
break
is unlike
into the end
any
of the
place
show,
you've
you're
played
saying?
before. Come be part of the Wild Rock experience by booking your tee time online today at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
Hi, it's Matt LePay, and if you're a homeowner, this message is for you. If you're tired of worrying about your roof, siding, or gutters, look no further than Ridgetop Exteriors. With over 22 years of experience, they've got you covered, literally. From roofing to siding, windows to doors, and everything in between, trust Ridgetop Exteriors to enhance your home's curb appeal and protect it from the elements. Call them today for a free consultation and experience the peace of mind that comes with quality craftsmanship. Get started at ridgetopexteriors.com.
Are you in need of some rehabilitation to get you back on your feet after a fall or surgery? This is Paul Braun with Oak Park Place. Make a call to Oak Park Place Rehabilitation to develop a customized plan with their highly trained therapy staff. Whether it's inpatient or out, they will work with your physician to get you back on your feet fast. Located on the east and west side of Madison and in Janesville, Oak Park Place Senior Living. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more. TPC Wisconsin is the Total People Center, offering you and your family a totally enjoyable experience. That includes a challenging 18-hole layout, a good variety of programs for junior golfers, indoor and outdoor tennis, athletic performance center, swimming pool, luxurious locker room, and spacious accommodations for family gatherings and weddings. TPC Wisconsin, a Total People Center and a complete game for the whole family. For membership details, call 608-249-1000.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bob. Joel and his crew can equip you, dress you, teach you, and here's the best part. New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Bikes up.
So we've only got 90 seconds left. And Dennis, this whole show you've had this small golf ball sitting on the table. A golf ball sitting on the table. What is it?
This is a golf ball where you guys, Dave Lund, who listens to us regular, he was here today. He brought me the ball, and his comment was because you guys knew nothing about a small ball and a big ball.
Yeah.
And he says, were those guys that they grew up in the swamp at Cherokee? That they know nothing. This is a small ball.
Yeah.
1.62 inches in diameter. The real ball, the one your customer play, is 1.68 inches in diameter. This is smaller, played over there because of the wind.
Yeah.
And cuts the wind a lot better, less spin, the whole business.
When did it go out?
Pardon me?
When did they stop playing it?
Oh, it's been quite a while.
Long time?
Yeah, been quite a while because the balls are no longer balata.
Yeah.
Looks the same to me.
Those covers, they used to cut. You would blade hit an iron thin, and you come back with a smile.
This is
cut on
this is balata. This one.
Yeah.
The other ones are all this other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's all.
Yeah. All right. Well. Good. Now he got his way because you showed us that
Dave,
we didn't know anything.
Nice
Good
boy,
job, Dave.
Yeah, he was here today.
Yeah, thank you. We're gonna do this again, even on Labor Day. Listen, we don't get the day off. I mean, Dennis said no. You'll be here and do the show on Labor Day. So we're gonna do it next Monday. We'll do it just as normal. We'll talk to you next Monday. Talking golf from TPC Wisconsin in Madison.